So let's talk about how to get started fast. I'm sure that's what you're interested in right now after all this theory. And I want to just reiterate, I want to say this again. This theory is important. This theory is the difference between having a business that sucks or does very little or doesn't do much at all, and a business that absolutely rocks the house, makes you a lot of money, allows you to get control of your life and really be successful. And in fact, even there are some people who get started online and they make a little bit of money and then they either can't get further or it goes away and they don't know why. It's because they don't understand what happened, why it happened, and how this stuff really works to make the big bucks consistently. And that's why I want you to understand all these things I've talked about and why in future DVDs we're going to be talking about more and more of this big picture, these high-level concepts so you really learn marketing. I mean, I've spent close to 20 years now studying marketing and spent tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in my education. I spent millions of dollars buying ads and testing. And so I've learned a lot of this from other people, learned a lot of this by trial and error on my own. And these are the things that really happen. So let's give you some specifics now for things, now that you understand front end and back end and marketing funnels and hot target markets and everything else, is how do we get started? And really, getting started in what you're going to sell, you've got two choices. And the first choice is to create your own product. So one option is your own product. And so you create your own product, and maybe you've already got your own product, in which case that's great. So you know what you're going to sell. But if not, you could create your own product, and eventually I'd love to have you do that. But I don't think it's the best place to start if you don't already have it and don't already have a sales system, because when you create your own product, you've got to do several things to make this work. You've got to create the product, whatever it is. So you've got to write it or pay to have it written or recorded or created. And it's not super hard to create a product. It really is the easier part. The part that concerns me, and I see a lot of people struggle with early on, is you've got to create a sales system for that product. That means you've got to have a website that sells, or a seminar, teleseminar, webinar, something that sells. And that's very, very important to understand. Creating a product or even getting hold of a product to sell, that's great. But you got to have a sales system that's going to work. If you don't have a sales system, then you're going to struggle mightily. My friend Telman Knudsen, you may or may not have heard of him. He's actually become my friend now. He's one of my most successful students. He bought one of my early books many years ago and frankly did nothing with it. And then eventually went ahead and decided after hitting rock bottom that he would start doing what it said in there and became successful. But what many people don't realize is his first full year online that he really focused on this, he did about $800,000 in income. And that's obviously a huge number. But what most people don't realize is he did almost all of that selling other people's stuff as an affiliate, because the truth was that he kept trying to sell his own stuff, but he was so bad at it that it never worked. And so he'd have to, in order to it's like, I'm going to sell my own stuff. Okay, I'm not making money. Well, I'll go back to doing the stuff that works. I'll sell other people's stuff. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But when you're going to create your own product, you got to create your own sales system. Once you do that, this is the preferred way. So in the long run or in the future, depending upon how you look at it, if you don't already have anything, this is going to be preferred that you do this. But my concern is you're going to be trying to learn and do too much, so you're never going to get started, you're never going to see success. The very best, most exciting feeling in the world for your new online venture is this. Okay? It's the day you get the email that says you made a sale. The day you get that email, you made your first sale, that's a great day. You're going to feel really good, very excited, because now you know it works. I can tell you it works. You can believe sort of that it works. You can see that it works for other people. But when it works for you, you're going to become a believer. And see, when you see that success, you're going to get really excited, and then you're going to really want to rock and roll this thing in many different ways. So one of my concerns is that you're never going to get to this point, this nice important day that says you made a sale, because you're going to be busy creating your own product and you're going to do it all the hard way. It's going to take months on end, or you're quickly create a product because you're able to do that or have it, but then you're going to spend a long time creating a sales system, and this sales system is either never going to get done or never work. Because I'm going to tell you, this is the hard part. It's the selling. Okay, getting traffic is actually easier than creating a sales system that works to high efficiency. And so what I don't want to see you do is be stuck spending, literally, some people, because you're brand new at this, they spend months on this process of creating products and sales systems. And you know what happens if you're spending time creating? You get no money. Okay? So if you spend all your time creating, you're not getting paid. And see, what I want to see is money coming into your business. I'm very focused. If your business should be very focused on the bottom line oriented. What's making me money? How does this work? And so one of my problems here is if you look at this, you've got all of these things that are against you succeeding in just creating your own product. And again, I believe strongly that's where you need to go in the long run, which may even just be a few months from now you can get started on that. But in the short run, my concern is that if you do this, you're just never going to succeed because you're never going to get far enough in this whole system to succeed. Now, my suggestion is that you sell other people's products. And so that's our second choice over here, is that we could go ahead and we could sell other people's products. And there really are two choices here, which you may not be aware of if you're new to all this. One is the obvious choice, because I've talked about some of it, is that you could sell as an affiliate. And this is one of the easiest places to start. It's where many, many successful people have started. I mentioned Tillman, who's doing several $1 million in business this year. Did a year where primarily his affiliate income was about $800,000. There are people doing millions of dollars a year in affiliate money. So being an affiliate, there's no shame in it. There's a great, very profitable way to do it. You can become an affiliate from me at my Gold Affiliate program and succeed that way. It's a super way to go. The other way that you could sell other people's products is you could piggyback and you can license that product from them. So now licensing the product, that means that you would buy the right to do a couple of things. Number one, you'd have the right to sell the product. And when you sell it, you would collect the money and you would deliver the product. And so you treat it as if it's yours, essentially. And so they're your customers, you sell it, you deliver the product. You could also, in many cases, this is a real shortcut, besides licensing the product and having the right to sell it, you could also get the right to use the sales letter. And if there's already a website built to host this, or excuse me, not to host it, website built that you could put up on your hosting account, then you could set all of this up and be in a really cool position, because you would have not only the sales letter, but the website and the web page already created that you could just put right up on a hosting account and change a couple links in it so that you'd process orders, and you'd have this all set up, ready to go. This is really, really an exciting thing. I want to make this clear, is that you could just shortcut your way to having your own product. So either one of these are a great way to get started, and you can certainly do both, but again, I want you to focus on just one thing. So if you try to do everything all at once, truthfully, you're never, ever going to get started. So if I have to leave you with any bottom line thought, as you say, figure out where you want to get started. For the very first thing is that if you really want to succeed quickly, you need to focus on one thing. And boy, that can be really hard to do. But if you focus on one thing only, just simply focus on one thing then you're going to go to success much, much faster. And it's hard. You probably have a lot of ideas. There's a lot of stuff that interests you. You look around and go, this is such cool stuff, and oh, this thing over here is very exciting. And believe me, I absolutely understand that, but it's important that you recognize how much is going to not get done if you're trying to do 2 or 3 things at once. I know you're thinking, oh, I can multitask and I can take them all on, and even, boy, I've even said this to myself sometimes, this opportunity is just too good for me to pass up. I can't possibly pass up an opportunity that's this good. Well, if you're going to do that, then you need to give up the other opportunity. You can't do them all. You're going to have to just focus. And so, in fact, while we're working on this fast start section, I'm just going to leave this part right out here. I'm just going to add this in as a big key word that you're going to just, have right available to you. I want you to focus. Very important. If you don't focus, this is not going to work for you. So I understand it's easy to get distracted. There's a lot of exciting things out there. You'll see emails from me and from a lot of people who are going to be like, man, I got to jump on this, that. And I want you to not ignore opportunities, but what I want you to do is do one thing, get it going a little bit, and then work on a second. But don't try to do a lot of things all at one time, because then stuff just really isn't going to work for you. So you've chosen a product. That was step 1. So we've chosen a product. What are we going to do with that product or affiliate or whatever we're going to promote? And the next thing we need is we need a hosting account. And you can go to our resource page. It's in the cover letter that you got with this DVD. And you can go right there and you can find out more about what we recommend for hosting, but it's very low cost. And you just figure, it's going to be, basic hosting account, no frills, like $10 a month. Not a lot of money. But you need a hosting account because this is where you've got to have a website. And that website could be doing a couple of things. If you've got a sales page for your product or other people's product, it can be up on this website. You're probably going to want to have a blog because it's a great way to generate traffic. You put that up on the website. And if you're going to be an affiliate, you might just have a squeeze page up on here. And I'm going to explain what that is in just a minute. If you don't know what a squeeze page is, it's basically, this is an email capture page. Its job is to capture emails and the names of people who are going to visit your site or get free reports or do something. I'll explain that in just a minute in more detail. But this is its purpose. You got to have a hosting account. I mean, real businesses have hosting accounts. So if you want to have a real business and succeed online, you absolutely, positively, no choice, not up for question or anything else, you must have a hosting account. And so it doesn't have to be complicated. This is not, I know, like, oh man, it's not that complicated. It's not that hard. You can always hire somebody, get a high school kid or a college kid to make you up and help you out with this if you need to. This stuff really isn't that tough, but very important that you must have your own hosting account, and so you can't get started until you go and set up a hosting account. And then you can figure out what's going to go up on there afterwards, but you absolutely must have a hosting account as part of this. So that's one part of kind of the requirements of doing all this. The other thing that you've got to have is an autoresponder. Now, some people might disagree with me, but having an autoresponder account is really important. And this is going to cost a little bit more. And again, our recommendations are on the page, and you can see more about these. Just go to the Resource Center. This autoresponder account is going to allow you to do a lot of things. This is going to allow you to, number one, send email to people that are on your list. I really should put first, this is going to allow you to build a list. And this is a list of people who are interested in a topic and they opt in to receive email from you. These are not people we buy and spam unrelentingly. These are people who are going to opt in for more information about a specific topic or to do something. And so you're going to be building a list of people with email. You can send them email. You can decide tomorrow, I want to send them an email, and you can write a message and just text and send them an email. You also can have what's called automated follow-up messages, which is the main focus of an autoresponder. And these automated follow-up messages could be, you could have lots of them. You could have these go out literally if you wanted to, and I do often, every day. And some of them might be helpful hints, but most of them are going to be recommendations for products and services. You're going to want to have a lot of auto messages in your autoresponder system. And so you're probably thinking, boy, Sean, how am I going to possibly do this? Well, let's go and clean this up for a second. And let's talk more about the squeeze page and the email part, because this is a hugely profitable possibility for you here in what you're able to do. Very, very important. And so I want you to really be able to understand how all this is going to go together. So I talked about capturing email, and I talked about a squeeze page. And so let me just kind of draw you the picture of a squeeze page. So a squeeze page, and you probably all have been to them, is going to be a page where there's going to be, usually it's a headline and something exciting about why you're here. And usually over on this side here is a form. And this form is going to ask for your name and have a little box here, and your email address and have a little box here. And then down here is going to be your little submit button. I'm getting better at this art stuff, huh? And so that's where people are going to put their info in. And here's going to be a headline, and there's going to be something about why whoever's visiting this, why the visitor wants this. Whatever it is that you are going to tell them about. And because remember, people buy what they want to buy. People opt in and give you their information in exchange for information about something that they want to know about. So they need a reason why they want to do that. Usually it's because you've got, if we're going to focus on information that they want about something. So what is it they want to know about? Well, they want info. And so you could be giving them something as simple as a free report about X. And you probably have seen these, and you want to have an exciting title. You always want to have a title. Don't just say it's a free report. You want to have a good title. Like the 3 things that the government doesn't tell you about the economic situation. Or the 7 things you should know before you hire a plumber. Or the 5 secrets to making the best roses ever this year. See, those are things that people go, oh, I want to know about that, and will opt in for. And then you just write a short report, 3 or 4 or 5 pages. And as soon as someone opts in, then you make that available to them. Okay? And if you go into our Lead Building Club, again, that's in the resource section. There's a lot of information on this, a lot of templates you can get in there for $1. It's real simple. But you want to look at this and say, and do this. So once you capture this squeeze information, let's talk about who could come here. So you can be running traffic to here from a lot of sources. We'll talk about traffic in a minute. Once you realize that once someone, after opt-in, trying to figure out how to explain this as easy as possible. After someone opts in, after someone fills in their information, they're going to go to another page. Okay, this page, call it the success page, the confirmation page, whatever you want it to be. And you control that page. So after someone gives you their info, they go to the next page. So from here, once they press this button, they go to here. And you can make this page be anything you want to. What we commonly are going to do is we're going to have this go to a page that's now going to be a sales page. Because there's no time better than the present to make a sale to your new lead that you've just created by getting someone to opt in here. And so what we need to do is figure out what we're going to sell. Well, this sales page could be, let's go right back. What do we do on the last page? It could be your product. Could be an affiliate product. Could be something that you licensed, which is just like being yours now, right? So you look at those choices and you see what's happening here is that we're going to capture somebody. This person's going to go into the autoresponder. Okay, that's where the data flows, and then they're going to go to this sales page. And so this means that wherever you're generating traffic from, let's say you advertise, which is obviously a good thing to do for your business. Talk more about that in a minute. Then those advertisements lead people to get to this squeeze page, And then from the squeeze page, they go to a sales page. Okay? And in the meantime, they're in the autoresponder. And what's going to happen in the autoresponder? You're going to have automated follow-up. And you can send an email blast anytime you want to follow up with those people and sell them more stuff. So you can send them special notices, anything you want to. And you're on my list now. You see I send a lot of email. Why do I send a lot of email? Because it works. It creates sales. You almost can't send too much email. It's a very rare person that sends too much email to their list. So I want you to make sure you take a lot of notes on this, because this is the key to making a lot of money. That ability to build this system, doesn't matter whether you're selling your product, an affiliate product, whatever it is, building this email list, capturing these people, squeezing this, that's all a very strong thing to do. So we've now talked about setting up hosting, setting up the autoresponder, and setting up this system where we're going to take them from a squeeze page to a sales page. The next thing we've got to talk about is getting traffic. Now, traffic, in terms of the internet, is just getting people to visit your website. So we're going to talk about traffic, and we use the term visitor. And a visitor is simply somebody who visits your website. They come to the web page. So when you're surfing the World Wide Web, you're visiting websites. And so these are visitors to your page. And how many people do you think you want to visit your page? Okay, it's a trick question. Just want to see you're paying attention. So you want a lot of people to visit your page. And there are a lot of different ways to get traffic. Some of them are faster than others. And really, they broadly fall into two categories. And I want you to understand my thinking on this, because I think it's very important. And those two categories are, number one, where you pay for traffic. And there are a lot of different ways to pay for traffic. Let's not worry about all of them for now. We'll focus on a couple in a minute. But if you pay for traffic, you get it fast. Because you're essentially saying, listen, I'll give you X. Well, there's $20, $50, $100, $200 or more. You buy traffic, it comes in quickly. Okay? I'm going to give you a caveat right here when I talk about buying traffic, because I want you to avoid this. You're going to see a lot of advertisements that come to you for what it's called, usually something along the line of guaranteed hits or guaranteed traffic. And you're going to be people that are going to say, hey, we'll send you like 10,000 people for like $50 or something crazy. And you're just going to look at it and go, man, 10,000 people, $50, how can I not make money doing this? Well, it's actually not only possible for you to not make money, it's highly likely that you won't make money. Truly, incredibly likely that you will not make money doing this. So I'm going to do this now very carefully for you. Big X, don't do this. This is a horrible thing to do. We get emails almost once a week where someone says, listen, I bought all this traffic, and they're telling me they sent thousands of people to your website. And the first question I get is, why didn't your Disney affiliate program show all the traffic? And believe me, the affiliate program works really well. So it's not that it's not showing it all, it's that it didn't show up. But more importantly, the second thing is, how could I not have made sales? I sent 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people. You tell me your stuff sells. This traffic is pure, unadulterated garbage. It's just trash. I don't even know where it comes from. It doesn't matter where it comes from, where they get it from, whether or not it's real people or not. It doesn't work. Because I want you to think about this carefully. If it worked, why wouldn't they just drive all this traffic to their own products or to affiliate products and make an absolute fortune? And the reason is, it doesn't work. But there's a lot of legitimate traffic you can buy out there. It's not that all traffic you pay for is bad. It's just that particular stuff is bad, so you don't want to do that. So the other way that you can look at traffic is this. Free traffic. Free traffic is obviously really good, because if your traffic is free, what's your profit margin? It's huge, right? That's great. But two problems with free traffic. One, not fast. Okay? You have to wait. Okay? It's also, and related to this, not predictable. as to even when it's going to show up. So, I mean, I realize if I said to you, do this today and thousands of people will come visit your website next week and it's free, you'd wait a week. It's not that predictable. The second thing when we talk about free traffic is that in order to get this traffic, you invest time. Now, not that that's a bad thing, because many people that are watching this video, they have more time than they do money to invest. And so they'd actually rather put the time in than the money. So I have no problem with that, and free traffic is great. I love getting free traffic. But if you're in a hurry and you want to see things happen, test systems, make stuff go, then paid traffic is going to be your answer, because that's where you're going to be able to literally push a button. Something will happen very, very quickly. By push a button, I mean it's like you place an order for traffic, and then you get legitimate traffic, and then you get sales. That's a wonderful thing. So 2 points I'm going to leave on the board right now. I'm going to leave focus over here on the left, and I'm going to leave don't do guaranteed hits over here on the right, because I feel so strongly about that. That's really a very big problem, and I don't want you to have that kind of a problem. So let's make sure that we do a good job of avoiding this problem. Please, please, please. That's a huge waste of money. And you know, one day you're going to say, well, I've got to test it. I just can't believe it could be that bad. And you're going to find out that, yes, it really is that bad. It's astounding how bad all of this can be.